I'm going to make my bust or my 3D portrait of a person who's important to me using clay. I'm going to do a portrait of my mom because she's important to me. I'm going to start with a head shape. Remember that 3D busts in ancient Egypt looked pretty realistic, so we're going for a very realistic portrait as best as we can. Mine's really small, but you can make yours bigger. And I've saved some extra clay so that I can take pieces off to add different details. I also have things like toothpicks, and I have these clay tools, but you can use any materials that you have at home. So I'm going to start by adding some eyes. My eyes are going to be sticking out just a little bit, which is kind of silly, but that's okay. I'm going to add some eyes onto here. I'm going to do some of my rough details before I start going in and adding all of the finishing touches. And she needs a nose. A nose is kind of like a triangle shape. So I'm going to make a triangle shaped nose. One of the things about 3D art is that it should be interesting from all sides. Not just from the front like in a drawing. It should be interesting from all sides. My mom likes to smile because she's really funny and she laughs a lot. So I'm going to give her a nice smile. I think I'm actually going to have her mouth be open because when she smiles with her mouth open. This clay I'm using is a little bit tricky. It's so sticky, so I'm going to use my clay tools to do some of my details. I'm using Model Magic, but you can use any clay you want. One of my favorite things about Model Magic is that you can color it with markers, which we'll do later. All right, now I'm going to go in and add pupils for her eyes. And she has nostrils. Then I'm going to draw her lips. And I'll draw in some teeth too. It's hard to do these small details, so do your very best. And then, you know what, I decided I don't like that, so I'm just going to take it off. That's one of my favorite things about clay. You can always just take it off. And as I've been working on her, her head has gotten kind of square, so I can just smush it back. I decided I'm going to do a different kind of smile. I'm going to make a long line and have it dip down. And then I'm going to put another line on top. That looks better. Oh, she needs some eyebrows. Since she's smiling, her eyebrows arch up. And remember, she needs ears. We'll have a little bit of more clay. And my ears aren't going to go right here or at the very back because I want it to be interesting when I'm looking at it from all sides. So I'm going to put my ears right here. My mom actually does have ears just like me that stick out. Don't know if you've ever noticed, but my ears stick out a lot. It's pretty funny. And I'm going to add some details with my clay tools. Okay, last thing is her hair. My mom has short hair. Oh, but remember, because it's a 3D portrait, it needs to be interesting on the back too. So I need to make sure that I'm adding hair on the back of her head too, because my mom has hair on the back of her head. Not everybody has hair on the back of their head, but my mom does. And make sure I get it all covered. And then if I want and I have enough clay left. I'm going to make her a neck. Oops, sorry, I went off screen. And I'm going to actually stick a toothpick up so that it stays really nice and straight. And there's my bust of my mom. Now, if I wanted to, I could go in with my markers and I could color her. I'm excited to see your bust portraits.